Hi, folks. Holy Thursday begins probably the holiest time in the year for Catholics. It begins the Triduum, which stands for 3 days. Most people believe that Lent ends at Easter, but Lent actually ends sunset on Holy Thursday. And this is so that all parishes will have only one Mass. It's the Mass of the Lord's Supper on Thursday evening. There's no daytime Masses anywhere in the Catholic world, only this Mass on Holy Thursday. I love this Mass because there's a lot of things in it that link us to Judaism. It's the Passover meal that Jesus celebrated with the disciples. It's a time where we shared the bread and the wine. When Jesus said those words, "Do this in remembrance of me." It's also the time where Jesus went around and he washed the feet of the disciples, which again he said, "As I have done, so you also should do." The last thing I want to say about Holy Thursday is it's a Mass that doesn't really end until the Good Friday service. So you process with the Eucharist to the tabernacle, and many folks will stay there until midnight. And then the rest of the community is brought back again for the Good Friday services the next day. So it's a beautiful liturgy, one of my favorite during the year. And I can't believe we're going to miss it this year. I can't believe that the coronavirus has, that the entire Catholic world won't be celebrating the way we generally do. So we have to keep this one in our hearts, folks. And I hope we all do.
So for me, Holy Thursday is a reminder to continue to love one another wholeheartedly as Jesus loves us, and to continue to be servants of the Lord and be humbled by the sacrifices that Jesus made for us.
To me, Holy Thursday is very important because it commemorates Jesus' Last Supper and the start of Holy Communion. And Holy Communion is something that we all should be thankful for and realize that Jesus' suffering was for us.
I think Holy Thursday is a really important day that too many people don't think too much about. I think the symbolism of what happened on Holy Thursday is really applicable to what we're going through today. Because really, if you think about it, the Holy Thursday was the Last Supper. It was a meal that Jesus shared with his disciples, and it's when we received the gift of the Eucharist. And it was a reminder to all the apostles that even after Jesus' death, that he was still going to be with them through thick and thin, through times of uncertainty, times of sadness, but also in times of joy and happiness. So for me, I think that that's a really important and powerful reminder, especially with everything that we're going through today. Because while we may not be able to physically go and receive the Eucharist in Mass for at least the foreseeable future, I think it's an important reminder. Holy Thursday serves as an important reminder that Jesus is always with us, and that gift of the Eucharist is always with us, regardless if we can actually go and receive it or not.
Holy Thursday to me is a day to express gratitude this year.
Holy Thursday is where Jesus teaches me what it is to be strong. That to kneel, to wash the feet of another in service is strength. To nourish myself, body and soul, with the bread and wine, the body and blood of Christ in communion, is what it is to be strong.
Holy Thursday is when Jesus is most human. He washes the feet of the disciples, which shows that he's on the same level as the disciples. And in doing this, he's showing how when we serve others, we should be serving with them. We should be on the same level as them and treat them with the same humanity that he treated the disciples with.
Holy Thursday's always been inspiring to me because we see him as fully human. We see Jesus mourn, saying goodbye to his friends and afraid of what the events of the future might be.
I love the story of Jesus washing the feet of his disciples. I think it summarizes so much of what his life and mission was about here, and I appreciate the opportunity to reflect intentionally about how I am loving and serving my neighbor and God.
I believe that Holy Thursday could not have come at a more relevant time. Although we can't celebrate with the Eucharist and with our friends and family, we continue into the Easter season with our waiting hearts in the hopes to rejoice in the resurrection of Christ in the coming days and the community of our human family in the hopeful and near future.
Right now it feels like we're all in our own Holy Week. When all this time of uncertainty comes to an end, I think we're all going to experience some type of resurrection. My resurrection may not be definition-based, but it definitely will be a rebirth from where I've been.
In this time of uncertainty, I'm hoping that love transcends all imaginary and real borders, because we always ask ourselves, what would Jesus do? And the answer is, he would love first.
Something that I'm hoping for in the Easter season is greater awareness of all the joy and beauty that we are unceasingly immersed in. These are the small things, like a smile, some intentional words, the birds chirping, the flowers blooming. God is asking us to pay attention to all of these little things. Each day and every moment is an invitation to be present, even right here, especially here.
Looking forward to celebrating this Easter holiday with my loving family. But when this quarantine and this time period of uncertainty can finally come to an end, I'm most looking forward to the biggest hug from missed loved ones. The renewed weekly viewing of season 1 of The Bachelor, Listen to Your Heart. The rebirth of genuine smiles and kindness from strangers in public spaces.
During this time of uncertainty, I am most hoping for a time when we can once again be in physical community with each other, whether it be sitting on the quad on a nice sunny day or back in St. Francis Chapel holding hands during the Our Father.
Something that I really hope for in this time of uncertainty is that the family that I am not with right now is safe and healthy, and all of my friends from school and from home are all safe and healthy, and whoever they are with can provide some sort of relief and some source of happiness for them.
As we enter into this time of resurrection during the Easter season, I'm praying that God would provide healing, newness, and time and space for spiritual growth so that we can grow in deeper connection with one another and with Him.
In this time of uncertainty, I just hope that Jesus continues to bless us with these beautiful sunny days like we have today, and that we all realize that we will get through this tough time.
What I look forward to within this Easter season and once COVID-19 has ended is just being able to hug and have great conversations with my friends and family.
I'm most looking forward to visiting my friends and my other family members, especially my grandparents, and giving them a great big hug.
I am hoping for the continued gorgeous weather. The sun always reminds me of God and that He's shining down on us and He's here with us. And then also just that everyone can find some comfort and some normalcy and just continue to be there for one another and keep connecting and keep that community really strong.
During this time, I am really hoping to learn to let go of everything that I might have lost and just really being grateful for everything I have gained.
God will provide, and that's what this Holy Thursday in particular, amidst everything that we're going through right now, it just serves as a symbol for hope.
In this era of kind of uncertainty, of anxiety, and maybe even stress and confusion, my biggest hope is that we can all just be gentle with ourselves. So be aware of our feelings and know that however you're feeling, it's okay. And to take this time to reflect on kind of the highs and the lows of our lives and where God has been and maybe where He hasn't been, and how can we take all of that to really celebrate our lives together, and what can we look forward to, especially with Easter and celebrating the resurrection of the Lord. So take these next couple of days to kind of really do some reflecting and get ready to celebrate.
Hi, thank you for the chance to share a few remarks with my extended John Carroll family. This Lent has seemed more real to me. It seems to align better with the Gospels in the days we are about to celebrate. I have felt like Jesus wandering in that desert, isolated, disoriented, with few signs of the world I knew. I have been fasting on all of those things that have made up my normal life. As we approach Holy Thursday, one part of my mind wanders back to my days many years ago as an altar boy. The rituals, the ceremonies, the smells, all of those things associated with Holy Week that this week will not be part of my life. Okay. Another part of me is drawn by the parallels to the apostles, a community that gathered on Holy Thursday to share a meal and build community, totally unaware of what the future would hold in the next few days. A crucifixion, a sense of loss, totally disoriented, and with wonderment about what would take place and exactly what they would do. I feel that way, and I'm sure many of you do. But then I draw and look at the big lesson, what emerged after those events. Okay. I can imagine that after the pain and suffering passes, we will have a chance to reimagine a new world, to build the John Carroll community stronger and more aligned with the one that our faith calls us to build. I want to wish you all a happy Easter. May it be safe and healthy and spent with the ones that you love. And know that you're not alone as we all go through this experience.